Now that we got our drip rail done, I actually had to come back and add a piece into it right here, just this little corner. It was so rotted out, I didn't like the way it looked, so I went ahead and cut it out and then added a piece into it. So we're done with that, and the final and last thing that we have to do to this Mustang before we can do any more body work is get this door to fit in this hole. Now, we've had problems since day one with this door fitting in the hole of the car. This is actually the second door that I purchased. The first door that I purchased didn't fit at all. The door actually hung over the quarter panel in this area, and you can go back in the video set and see that. It was just an atrocious nightmare. But this door here is literally off a 68 fastback. I don't know, this ain't off a fastback, it's off a 68 Mustang. Now, this door got hit very, very hard right here. It was initially wrecked in this area, got T-boned. This whole section had to be replaced all the way from here down and into the cowling. That all had to be replaced. The owner actually supplied the A-pillar right here, and that's a factory A-pillar from the junkyard. That inner wall right there, that's brand spanking new. That had to be replaced. The sections of this rocker panel had to be replaced, all because it got hit and extremely T-boned right there. The owner bought the car that way, and I don't think that he knew about it. So the original door, we could not use at all. It was trash. We threw it away. Got another door. It didn't work. We finally got this door here, and it wasn't cheap, I can tell you that, but it actually fits almost perfect. I wouldn't say perfect, but almost. Now, one more thing I did, and this is a very crucial situation on these cars, is I found a set of factory original hinges. Now, a lot of times you could go ahead and leave that like that and probably grind the bottom of the door down, kind of make the gap even, make it look even Steven. But on this particular car, I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to get that gap closed up on the top here to like a factory gap, and then I want to open the gap up at the bottom. Now, the only way that I can do that is I have to add sheet metal to the top and take sheet metal off on the bottom. I got to twist the door opening, you might say. Kind of lever it this way like that. So I have to add up here, take off down there, and then what that's going to do, that's actually going to eliminate our factory lip on our door skin. And if you look in the background back there, you can see I actually have another door skin that we're going to use to make this whole job work and hopefully work properly. All we're going to do is replace this edge right here. That's all we're going to do, this edge. I will cut this edge off right here, and then I will graph it into the edge of this door after I add some 20 gauge sheet metal to the lip. So this is going to be a very extensive, big job. This ain't going to be a wham bam thank you ma'am situation, and it's going to take several hours, if not longer, to do the job right where the door actually looks normal.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Alright, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to cut this edge right here using our electric grinder so we can go ahead and eliminate this inside lip. Alright, we got a spot weld here, and it looks like there's a couple of them right here. Let's get rid of those. Okay, so we went ahead and removed that. Whatever I do to this side over here, I'm going to repeat my process on the bottom and this side here. This is a very, very long, extensive procedure on repairing a door this way. We are not going to replace the door skin. Believe it or not, if we replace that door skin, it's going to make the job worse. So we are going to do the best we can to get this all in action and to make it work. But we're going to concentrate on this door over here. And what we got an 1/8 inch gap right here. That's the way that I like it. So by cutting the door skin, we actually relieved the pressure here, and it also gave it a bit of a gap. And we can see that the gap isn't the gap that we really want, but it's getting pretty close, and it's almost there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my tape, and then I'm going to eyeball that right there, and then I'm going to open the door, and then I will grind that one area to where it starts getting big. I'm sorry, I noticed that the inside of the door right here, when I shut the door to latch it, it kind of tweaked on us. So we don't want that. We want the door to stay like it's supposed to throughout the whole procedure. And this is actually where it's nice to have two more hands to help you out with. I think I'm going to have to call Minnie, the body shop girl. She'll go ahead and come outside and help me, even though this is Sunday and she probably won't want to. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this outer skin. I'm going to cut it off. Now, we went ahead and adjusted the inner shell. Does that make sense? So now we got to cut the skin off the outside so we can add metal to the inner shell. And then once we get the inner shell where we want it, then we'll go ahead and cut the door skin that we bought. We'll cut that edge off, and then we'll weld it onto the door. Sounds very technical and very, what can I say, technical, time consuming. So once I get this edge cut, we might have to make this a little bit bigger, because we got to compensate for the lip of the door skin itself to do the work that we need. All right, we just calculated the situation, and actually I'm doing this backwards. I don't need to add any metal on the inside here due to the fact that we got the lip on the door skin that's going to roll around. What we do need to do though is we need to go ahead and make a nice straight line here, and we need to make sure that it is, how much would that be? Let's see here, 1/4 inch, that'd be 3/8. We need to make sure that there's a 3/8 gap. We need to make sure there's a 3/8 gap between here and the door. And then what I'll do is I am going to go, I can't use this tape measure. This tape measure is not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and line this up. We're going to use the number 5. And then we actually need 3/8. So we need to take that much out. So then we're going to go down here. And we'll do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, right here. And then we're just going to go around and do all this. And you can see how much we got to take off. Okay, so what we'll do then is we're going to take our tape. I don't need to add any metal. I was thinking I had to add metal to this so I could compensate for that, but I don't need to do that. And that's why I was telling you this is a very tricky and complicated job. So if you look at that line right there, that's how much we got to take off. Right there, that's it. So if you look how much meat we got around the edge, we don't have a lot right here, but I think we'll be okay. Down here we got a lot. Okay, so I'm going to have to cut that off of there, and then we'll take the door skin over there and then cut the piece off that we need to weld back on here so we can fold it over. Okay, what I did is I went ahead and when I cut that out, I left the inner skin on, so it's got a little bit of a lip there. Now what I'll do is we'll close the door. And then now we're going to go ahead and we'll take our measuring device. And we need to make a piece 3/8. 3/8 is what we need. Okay, this lip is sticking out, so. All right, now we can actually measure it. Gosh. All right, we're going to keep this edge, so I'm going to put the tape on the outside edge so we'll know not to cut too much off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use an air saw. It's a little bit more precise, so we're going to see if we can cut this off, and hopefully it's going to work out. Okay, so while the tape is on here still, I want to take my grinder and I want to clean the edge up. Okay, so we're going to take the tape off, and this is a very unusual job as far as skinning a door. If I would have took that whole skin and reskinned the door with that aftermarket door skin, what would have happened, Minnie?
It would have came out with the same flaw.
Probably worse. Aftermarket door skin. So we're going to stick this in here. And when I do this, you're going to see that the gap should, look at that gap now. Hold on, I got to get it. And that's it, look at here. You see how this fits? That doesn't even fit. You see what I'm saying? But if I sit this to where it goes,
The gap is going to look good.
the gap's going to look really nice. All right, what I'm doing is I'm fine-tuning the edge of my door. Now, remember, we went ahead and cut it out. Then we went over to the door skin and we cut a strip out of the door skin. I went ahead and welded that on there all the way down. And then once I did that, I rolled the edge over here. We're gonna look at that in a minute. But what I'm doing now is I'm actually adding weld to the lip of the door in special places. I mean, certain places where the gap is bigger in some small places than it is in others. And that's what I'm doing right now. So let's go ahead and shut the door and we'll see what we got. So I still got to add some weld right here. I'm going to do that with the door shut, and then once we add that, then we can grind it down to make the gap the exact same all the way down. All right, now that we've put our bead down the door, now we can actually grind it down to what we want. And once again, the gap was kind of funky right there. And all we're trying to do is get a nice straight line at this time. So as I got the door open, this is where I want to continue down. We're going to take a little bit off at a time. Go ahead and shut it. And it looks like the door is looking better. Go ahead and open it up and grind some more. Looking better. We're going to look at all this when we're done, don't worry. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. It's a little tight. Let's go ahead and clean this up. I'm going to continue my process all the way down the door till my gap is where I want it. I still got a lot of work to do. It's actually 6 or 7 at night right now, 6:30. I started on this morning at like 9:30, 10, no, about 10:30 this morning. This is Sunday, so I got to go ahead and do this all the way down the door. And yeah, very big job, people. Very big job.
Now's the time that you want to hit the subscribe button. Click on that bell for notifications and comment below. Because if you don't, this big blob of Mondo's going to be inside your bed covers tonight when you crawl in there, and it's going to get in places that we really don't want to talk about right now. Do, my friend, pay me a favor and subscribe. Now, do it, or that Mondo's going to do you.
Okay, let go. Let's see what it looks like. How's that look?
It looks good.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. We went ahead and added a 1/2 inch. We actually cut off a 1/2 inch. We left the shell on, and when we did that, we got us a nice gap going down here. Looking good. I like that gap. I wouldn't say that it's flawless. I wouldn't say that it's 100% perfect. A lot of people are going to look at it and they're going to say, this, that, and the other. You know, do it yourself, make your own videos. Let's see what you can do. Let me go ahead and open this up. If you want to come over here with the camera, you can see right here that we went ahead and rolled the door skin around so it looks like factory. Look at that. It looks exactly like factory. I still got to do a little cleaning up on this edge right here. But you can see that the factory edge is there when you open the door. We got to do a little bit of hammering right in this area. It looks a little loose, or we can actually take some seam sealer and fill that in. It'll look just fine. We got to do some minor body work to it. I got to do some more cleaning up right in this area here. But other than that, this is a done deal. And I think the gap came out nice. If everybody remembers, the door was actually overhanging a little bit, and we got it fixed very nicely. So that concludes, believe it or not, what you just saw. Basically, I got to go back and finish it out, but that concludes all of the rust repair and the metalwork damage to this car after 8 years off and on, jerking off with it. One other thing I got to do, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat here. I got a lump in my throat because I can't believe that this is already to this point. We're actually to the point of body work, Minnie, the body shop girl.
That's wonderful.
So this here has been a nightmare on my shoulder for, what, 7 years?
A long time.
Remember the night that we actually mounted this door?
Oh my God.
And after we got the front end on it, we mounted the door, and we saw that
cried.
door it was way over here.
I think you cried.
I could not believe it. So let me get this door done, and when that's done, or when we come back, I don't know what we'll be doing, but we're going to be doing something. We're going to have to regroup and start over. Go ahead and turn it off now. Oh, you want to get one more look there? How's it look?
Looks good.
I think it looks nice.
Looks good. Good, good, good.
It's not flawless. It's not perfect, but you know, I think it came out great.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.